They say the truth will set you free, but this time, I think it only made things worse. Welcome back, horror fans. I'm Leo, and Bootube Breakdowns is here to save your scary movie night. Right off the bat, The Cleansing Hour scores a 3.8 out of 10, landing it solidly in our zombie stumble category. But here's the thing. I've already had to strip naked for my audience just to get you this score, and in a few minutes, I'll show you exactly why this film earned its rating. If you disagree with my score at the end of the video, be sure to let me know how much you want to run away from a demon in a bathroom stall. Then be sure to like, share, and subscribe about it in the comment section. Our story begins with internet exorcist Max and his faithful crew spreading the good work of Jesus and God by performing an exorcism during a 1-hour live stream session known as The Cleansing Hour. As is common with movies of this kind, it is quickly revealed behind the scenes that Max isn't quite as priestly, nor are the exorcisms quite as holy as one might think. Well, in the following episode of The Cleansing Hour, demonic forces conspire to take over the livestream and give the viewers a more authentic experience. In the following episode, the crew hired an actress? They hired a person of acting who was supposed to show up and play a possessed victim, but instead gets attacked and possessed by homeless people, ultimately forcing one of the crew's girlfriend, Lane, to pretend to be possessed. The unnamed demon quickly takes control of the Cleansing Hour, and in an ironic twist, rather than Max cleansing Lane of the demon, instead the demon uses the show to torture and cleanse Max, his co-producer and best friend Drew, as well as Drew's girlfriend, Lane. Oh yeah, there's also Chris, Tommy, and Riley in the background, but they don't really matter. In general, this is a very simple story with nothing all that special to keep it that memorable. In truth, the only thing the story has going for it is the overall malice of the demon and the tactics it uses to torture, manipulate, and even kill members of the crew. The crew, by the way, is a disjointed mess with little rhyme or reason and seems to only exist to either get killed off by the demon or for the demon to exploit in order to move the plot along. Seriously, Riley only exists to be annoying and then die. We go through all of this hassle for the demon to ultimately expose Max as a fake priest who fakes his exorcisms and sleeps with Max's girlfriend to millions of followers and is only using his platform to sell cheap merch and sell a brand. Great plan. The demon exposed a YouTuber for being a YouTuber. Seriously, this bit of social commentary did not hit as hard in 2019 as Damien LeVeck thought it did. Oh, and by the way, there's some tragic nun backstory that gets the John Wick treatment. I ultimately give the story quality here a very disjointed 3 out of 10. The pacing here is not just pretty bad, it's just bad. There's no rhyme or reason for basically anything that happens in this movie. Tommy is killed off for being a white guy, I guess. Riley dies because a bitch don't listen. Chris is a junkie that hallucinates demon cats and kills himself for reasons unknown. Drew was making an internet archive of demons because Google doesn't exist in this universe, and all things must be manually entered into a private database. Also, don't get me started about how they start to lose internet power for their viewers, and by connecting a wire to a box that turns the red light into a green light, the internet is saved from going to 0%. The torture scenes kind of just happen, and after making Max strip, he gets his clothes back on again. Just a cutscene, his clothes are back on. Okay, I guess. Also, there's the growths in his arm and back that never get addressed again. Oh, and there's also an ending. Yep, that's my comment. There's an ending. It's a disjointed mess that goes nowhere fast, but at least it wasn't completely boring, so I give the pacing here a 4 out of 10. I'll be fair here, this movie was probably meant more to be a black comedy than an actual horror movie. The only reason I watched it is because of all the lists saying it's a good horror movie. No, it's not scary, but it has some good horror elements to it. The gore is definitely present, and the deaths range from silly to gruesome. The CGI might not be the best, but the demon cats, as well as the final demon, are actually pretty haunting. The demon's power of being able to manipulate the environment and weaponize everything in its vicinity were also a treat to watch. However, this is completely shadowed by the sadistic, playful nature of the demon in the possessed girl, and the horror elements just kind of get blurred behind the chaotic mess of this movie. Also, there's one cheap scare in the beginning that immediately put me in a sour mood, so I'm ultimately going to give the fear factor here a 2 out of 10. It's not all bad, however. As I said, this movie works a lot better as a dark comedy than a horror movie. The way that streaming, live views, comments, and bandwidth are portrayed was so hilariously bad that I was laughing the whole time. The makeup of a possessed Lane was actually pretty awesome, especially with the horns starting to grow on the side of her face. As I said, the demon cats were kind of badass, and the final form demon in the end was also pretty well done, especially the eyes. I'm not going to spoil the ending yet, but I did love the final twist with the viewers as well. It is definitely a horror movie you play in the background with your friends during a Halloween movie marathon, if you don't take it too seriously and just enjoy the experience. It's kind of fun, hence why I give the fun factor here a 6 out of 10. As part of the Cleansing Hour show, Drew is supposed to use his database to find the name of the demon, and Max says the incantation and exorcises the demon. Turns out they misidentified this demon, and that demon that actually shows up is heavily implied to be the devil himself. He gets summoned and uses the live stream to, I guess, possess all the viewers and force them to kill everyone in the world. It's a strange twist going from pretend exorcism to summoning the actual devil and bringing about the apocalypse. It's silly, a little fun, but ultimately forgettable. As a dark comedy, it could work very well, but as a horror movie, the ending is just below average. This is why I give the ending here a 4 out of 10. So that's Bootube Breakdowns' take on The Cleansing Hour. Averaging our scores gives this movie a 3.8 out of 10, which places it in our Zombie Stumble category. Do you agree with my rating? Stream your score in the comments and tell me what horror flick I should gut next. If this helps save your spooky vibes, smash that like, share with your horror crew, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to Bootube Breakdowns for more killer verdicts. Keep it creepy, and I'll haunt you in the next review.